Hi everybody, Lisa over at iRepair Devices, and today my workbench I will be replacing the HDMI port in this PS4. I already have the board out of the console, prepped and ready to go, so let's get started. So first what I'm going to do is apply some low melt to the existing joints on here. So when I apply the hot air, it helps loosen up the solder. So now these boards are very thick, so it's going to take a lot of heat, so just be patient and let's heat the joint up. Let's get you on camera here. So there we go. There. I'm just heating up these. There's going to be 4 pins on the side here I'm going to heat up, and then I'm going to go across and then heat up the 19 small pins on the back there. So right now I'm just applying some low melt to these joints. Now this unit came in having no display on the screen, and before I go ahead on any of PS4 repair, when the unit is dropped off and the customer indicates no image on the screen, I don't jump to the conclusion right away saying, oh, it's the the HDMI port. I like to do a visual of it because there are times where it's not the port, it's actually the IC chip. So and in this case it was clearly the port itself, because under the microscope pins were actually bent back. So this is clearly the damage of. Now I could replace it and it still could be the IC chip as well, but normally it wouldn't be both. It would be either or. But seeing how this one physically had damaged 2 damaged pins, I'm going to say this would be the only issue. So, but we won't know until I go ahead and replace it and then try it out. So alright, I have enough low melt on here. So now I'm going to take my hot air and I'm going to come from the bottom of the board and heat it up. And then when I know it's nice, when I know that the solder is kind of like dancing around, will give me. I can't talk today. When the solder starts jumping around, I'll know that's a good time for me to pull the pin from the component from the board. You don't want to do it too soon because you actually can run the risk of pulling pads, and you don't want to do any additional work on here. So just get this heated up. Now, like I said, that because this board is thick, it's going to take a lot of heat to get it up to temperature. So just be patient. And I do have some Captain tape on the surrounding components to help protect them from the heat. So, all right, I'm starting to see some parts dance around. And every so often I'll just kind of poke at it to see when it's ready to be lifted. And you'll know. Have my fume extractor in place here, so I don't want to breathe any of this stuff in. I think we're gonna turn up the airflow just a bit. There we go. Now I get a lot of questions asked, what do you set your heat at and your air, and it all depends on your hot air. Every unit's going to run different. Even if we had the same unit, they're all not going to be the same. All right, it's starting to dance around here, and come on, and lift. There we go. Off. So, got a good pull. And let's turn this off. All right, let's clean up the pads there and see how it looks. So, let's clean this up. Clean it up a little bit better than this. So let's move me down here. So there we go. There. So let's gonna do a quick wick on all these pads again, just to get a better cleaning. clean this up. Once the pads are clean and I'm satisfied with it, then I'm going to go through and then tack these 19 pins down. Add some solder to these 19 pins, and what I'm looking for is a nice pillow for each of these pads. So, all right, happy with that. So let's lay down some flux again. And now I'm going to come through with some leaded solder, and I'm going to tin each pad here. And you'll know the ones that are grounded because they're going to be the pads that are going to be a little bit stubborn on accepting the solder. So I just keep going over the same area until I know, until I get a good pad. So second one's a ground. As you see, it's not accepting it, but once you hover over it a little bit and the heat transfers over, it's going to get it. This one's a ground too, so let's hover. Alright, and this is a ground. Alright, let's clean that off and see how that looks. Let's zoom in. Good clear, yep. No bridging. And the pads all have that nice pillow look to them. So I am happy with the pads. So now we're going to take our new connector here. And I always like to do a visual of the connector before putting it in there. Making sure the pins all look good. Yep. Pins look good internally, so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more flux, and then I'm going to take the hot air from the bottom, heat it up. Once I see the solder starting to dance around, then I'm going to put the HDMI port through the holes and line them up on the pins. So on camera here, let's see. There you go. And I'm just going to run just a little bit more solder on these through holes here, because when the port is put through, it's going to absorb some of the solder with it, and I want the holes to be nice and filled. So, all right. Doesn't look pretty now, but once it gets heated up and into place, all the joints are going to look good. So, all right, happy with that. So let's get that cleaned up. Then apply some fresh flux, and then get this piece mounted. Okay, so here's our new port, and let's see. Alright, we're gonna go like that. So it's hard. I'm left-handed, so it's hard to use my right hand, but so let's back away here. It says it's going to take a little bit to heat up because of the thick thermal mass that the board has, so it's going to take a little bit. Once I see the solder, like I said before, dance around, then I know I'm good to go. Oop, I didn't add any flux. Then I'm good to go to get this piece mounted. So just waiting for it to heat up. Let's increase the airflow a little bit. There we go. Okay, I could start seeing the solder starting to solidify, so okay. They're in, and I'm just gonna pull the heat away. Alright, let's see if we got a good connection here, or if it's straight, or I need to. Alright. The side's a little lifted here, so I'm going to heat it up again and then press it down. Okay. See, by moving it just a little bit, it shifted these pins over a little bit. So I'm gonna tap it over to my right. So we're gonna heat it up. Okay, starting to move. Alright, let's... There. Let's see how this looks. Alright. Yep. Oop. Alright. Okay, what I'm going to do is clean up the joints there, and then I'm going to go through the, I'm going to turn the board around, and then I'm going to check these connectors back here. I may have to tack them better in place. So sometimes these pins may not adhere properly to the pads below them, so you have to take a soldering iron and just do some touch up on some of the pins. So I'm going to check them next. Alright. So Alright, so slide the iron back. Okay. Okay, so let's go and touch these pins and see if we've got a connection with them. Get my thinner ones here. There we go. Good. 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 Good, but I might touch him up. Good. 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 Yep. They're all good. This one's good, but I just may just do a quick touch up with him. So let's get my smaller tip in here. You know what, I might just go ahead, probably shouldn't do this, but I may just go ahead and just touch them all up. I know this is going to probably come back and bite me in the ass, but give it a shot. Alright. I have to turn this to the side a little bit. Again, I'm a lefty, so I have to come in on an angle here. So make sure you're still on camera. Oh, where are we at here? Where are we at? Come on. You're totally doing the opposite of what I'm trying to see here on the screen. Alright, there we go. Alright. Bella? No, no. Oh, son of a bitch. Bridged. But that's okay. We will just... Oh, these two... Ugh. It's okay that they're bridged. We will just unbridge them. Alright, let's just... Gone. Gone. Alright. We gotta touch up those pads again because some of the solder was removed. And just go in and don't be bridging on me. Come on. There we go. Good. Good. There. And let's get the end one. This one seems like it has just a little too much on the side here. I just want to remove. There we go. All right. Touch. Alright, we have one stubborn one here, and that's the ground, of course. So let's get in some extra flux here and get him tacked down. There we go. There. Let's clean it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and recheck the pins, making sure that they're all intact. I'm not showing anything loose, so let's clean this off. I don't like to rush these kind of jobs here, just due to the fact that these, you know, you don't want to lift any pins and you just want to get it done right the first time. Alright, so let's see. Good, 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 good. So they're all intact. There's a nice connection between the pin and the pad. So now I'm going to come through with my little brush here and just get a good cleaning. On the side. Then I'm going to flip the board over and get a good cleaning on the bottom there. And then I'm going to do a quick connection. I'm going to put it back into the console just to see if that did correct the no picture issue. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get these solder joints on the bottom here a little bit better. I certainly don't want to leave them like that. I meant they look nice and tacked, but I don't like these two. Again, this is probably my OCD here, but I want to just get a little bit better connection there. Alright. Flux, had you. Where'd you go? Here you are. Okay. Like I said, board's thick, so it's going to take a lot of heat, so I'm just going to let the solder sit there and just let it absorb. Try to get some on the right hand side here. There we go. Good enough for me, and let's get this other guy. There we go. I'm happy with that. I know it's a little blurry on the screen there, the way the scope was at, but let me clean it off and I'll show you. There we go. There. I'm happy with that, so. And let's just make sure nothing was disturbed on this side. No, everything looks good here. Also, I like to look for, you know you did a good job is when you don't see any of the plastic get melted. You know, so you applied enough heat, but you didn't overheat it. So that's a good thing when you look at the connector and you don't see any melted plastic. So. What I like to do too here is connections on this side, so I'm just going to plug in a sample, plug in a port here real quick. Just want to check it. Alright. It's nicely fitted. Okay. So I'm going to remove the Captain tape here. And then I'm going to pop it in the console, and then we're going to see it show up on the screen here if it did resolve the no screen issue. So, and I'm not going to put it totally together because I have to mount all the screws, but at least throw it in the case where we can at least see just to get it tested. So. Okay. Turn off the microscope and get the camera back up here. So. Right. So just put in a couple screws here to hold it in place, and then plug in the power supply, and then do a quick test here. So we will see if this was a successful repair, or could it be the port and the IC chip. So let's get it flipped around here. Good. Oops. Power connector is snagged, so I'm going to take this off. And these are the HDMI port replacement is common on the PS4s. There you go. Okay. Let's try this again. Now I could have stopped the video at this point once the port was installed, but I just want to show you that, you know, if that did resolve the issue. So yep. Try this again. Connect around. Right. Power supply, here we go. Okay. HDMI is plugged in, power cord plugged in. Okay, nothing blew up, so that's a good sign. Okay. We're gonna change the channel here on my small monitor here. All right, just get the camera rotated around for you. Come on, work with me. There we go. Okay, so let's turn it on. Power button's hit. Did this do the... Oh, look at that. Starting up. There we go. We have a screen. We have image. So the HDMI port, again, was bad. There was bent chips. Replaced it. And so we are good to go. This was a successful repair. I hope you liked and I hope you learned something from this video. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I turned it off. And until next time, have a good one.